What's up, everybody? I just want to do a quick video on the mods I've done on the KLR, because I know a lot of people have been asking, and it would really be helpful to others if you put an LED rear tail light. Eliminated the tail under here because it kept getting damaged, and then this tail light flashes when you hit the brake, so it gives like a little emergency flash. I did a Pelican Top Box. Actually, I got it from Harbor Freight. It's decent. It's all right. I'm not a big fan of these boxes because they change the appearance of the bike on the back. I don't think it looks as clean with a box on there, but it's all right. I did a Lex exhaust, no silencer tip. This is what it sounds like. It's pretty decent. In New York, you gotta be able to have like a deep exhaust with a little bit of bass to it, so people can hear it when they have the windows closed. Got the Kenda K761 on the rear and Metzler Karoo on the front. I'm redoing this video because I did a video before and it was too dark. I got the choke eliminator, so there's a stem right on the a knob right on the carburetor. That's better than using, but you got to reach under, so some people might not like it. But I had problems with my choke knob on the handlebar. Kept having trouble with it because I guess it's exposed to the elements, so it kept getting like this. The choke switch on here is really out there, like water can get in there, and it just kept messing up on me. So that's why I put the choke knob on the carburetor. And I got the Oxford heated grips. That's a must here in New York. Metzler Karoo 3 in the front. LED headlight. Not bad. It's not too bad. Let's see what else we have here. I did put a Eagle Mike gravity feed petcock and eliminated the vacuum stuff on the carburetor. So all that stuff is disabled, capped off, because actually one time I did have a problem where one of my vacuum hoses broke, and I was stranded until I figured it out. So that's why I get rid of all that stuff, because I want to keep it really simple on this bike, because I don't want any problems when I'm bringing a box or whatever it is I'm doing. I can't afford issues. Got to keep it really simple. I mean, that's what these KLRs are, really simple, but they don't have much features, so I would say going down the road, if they can really advance on the KLR, like a lot of the commenters, there's one guy from Hawaii that commented saying that he's gonna get the new KLR. So the new KLR has a fuel gauge, and that's good. Hey, how's it going, man? Pretty good. Oh, you too, man. Thanks. Yeah, so they said that the new KLR has a fuel gauge on it. I guess having an ABS, you can't go wrong with that. So I would say, I'm hoping like one day, for now I'm stuck with this KLR. It'd be nice to have some features, like advanced features, but then again, for what I'm using the bike for, I don't know if that would be good or not. But it would be very interesting to hear from other riders, what they feel about with the advanced features on a bike. Like, does it strand you? Like, because when you get stranded, but I guess ABS, things like that on the KLR be nothing but good, because in a fuel gauge, if the fuel gauge malfunctions or the sender unit goes down, as long as the fuel pump is still pumping fuel, that's really all that matters. So it wouldn't really actually be a problem, and the ABS would fail over, the brakes would fail over. For safety reasons, they fail over. So if the ABS is not working, it would just be regular brakes. So I guess that's a good thing. I mean, well, actually, no, I shouldn't say I guess. It is a good thing. Because how can you go wrong with something that fails over the regular? Because not having ABS on this KLR in the city, in New York City, I think is definitely an issue. You know, it hasn't come back to bite me, but you know, I've had to like literally retrain myself. You know, because other bikes I've had ABS. You know, my XR don't have nothing. That's a bare bones like bike. Also, I use that in the summertime, spring and fall, and all that stuff. But you know, features like ABS, I can't imagine it being a problem. But I guess if you go off-road, you're not going to like it. You know, so it should be a switchable type thing. As long as it's switchable, it would be good. But I don't know. Like I'm waiting to hear from my friend in Hawaii that see if he one of the posters, you know, that makes comments to and told me stuff about the KLR, because he told me that it has a fuel gauge. So I didn't even know what the new KLR has. So having a fuel gauge, man, that's really good. And having fuel injection, you know, there's like different sides on the camp, but I would imagine that Kawasaki really thought through the fuel injection and made sure that it meets the standards of KLR riders. So I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be problematic. So I think the fuel injection, the ABS, the fuel gauge, all that stuff is going to be really helpful. There's just no way that you can say it's not good, because those things are nothing but good. Because all I have on here, and then you got the tack on here, but I don't really use that much. He said that they got rid of the tack, which, you know, if you had to choose between a fuel gauge and a tack, I'll take the fuel gauge hands down, because, you know, with the fuel, when I forget to fill up or something, or if I'm like really distracted driving away, and then let's say I'll drive into reserve, you know, when the bike dies, I gotta switch it. You know, I can usually do it. I have a feel for doing it on the fly, but that's dangerous. You know, it's better to have a fuel gauge. You look down, you get a warning light or something to let you know that, hey, I need to fuel up. That's definitely better. And then the ABS, I'm hoping it's switchable, but I've had ABS on other bikes. The ABS will save you, like in a panic brake. Because if a cab jumps in front of you, or a pedestrian or something, and you have to like grab a shit ton of brake, you're not going to be. You just got. I have to retrain myself to do rear and front braking, combo braking, but you're not going to be able to. You know, you're not going to be able to do that all the time. There's going to be times where you're going to panic brake to the point where you really, you know, an ABS would save you. Like, it definitely will save you. There's no doubt about it. I've had bikes with ABS, and I've been saved because of the ABS. So for me to sit here and say, oh, ABS is terrible, I'm not getting it on my KLR, I don't know if I would say that, because I haven't tested it, you know. But if it's not switchable, that would be a problem. Because, like, for example, you know, the guy in Hawaii that bought one, if he off-roads, because there's tons of off-roading in Hawaii, I would think, and ABS off-road is insanity. Like, that's actually quite dangerous, because I've ridden off-road, like in California, and if you have ABS, you can't do that rear braking down a hill. the brakes will just keep pulsing and pulse you right into whatever it is you're trying to, you know, skid or do like some skid braking, or, you know, whatever it is that you know, when you're off-road, you sometimes you want to, you know, you want to slide. You need to slide because there's a bunch of gravel or whatever, and not having a switch on the ABS, I could understand where somebody would buy the KLR without it, because not having a switch on it will come back to bite you. But since I'm living on the East Coast, I can't even remember the last time I did off-road. When I was in California, it was every day of the week almost, like, because I even off-roaded for work, because I was doing contractor work for wireless sites, and you know, we'd have to go out to like a ranch or something where they're renting a mountaintop for a radio tower. I'd be out there driving my KLR up these mountainsides, you know, which, by the way, the KLR is really heavy for off-road, but it worked. It did the job, like, because we were going places with single track. You know, there's just no some of these roads were impassable. Like some of the wireless sites, most of the wireless sites had a pathway for a vehicle with four-wheel drive, but some of them did not. Some of them had, you know, they were put up by ATVs. Like some of these sites that run off of solar and battery power, like in San Luis Obispo. But anyway, I kind of miss that stuff. That was fun. I don't do any off-roading here in New York. Nothing. Zero. It's all urban traffic, you know, urban riding. So features could be helpful. I would say you'd have to tailor the bike to your personal needs. Like, if you know you do off-road riding, or you know how you ride, and you've determined that ABS is not for you, because there could be people that ABS is not for them, and in that case you get the bike without it if it's not switchable. I know in Europe bikes with ABS have like a switch that you can turn it on and off, but after you shut the bike off, by law it has to turn back on just so you don't forget it. So that would be something that people might find annoying. I had a BMW F800 GS. I don't know whether or not the ABS. I never even experimented with. Oh yeah, no, actually the ABS did have a switch for it, but I never really turned it off. Trying to get this box downtown before it gets wet. It's raining now. That's another thing. In the rain, ABS would help you. Like if you were driving down the road and someone cut you off, and you were on a slippery surface, the ABS would kick in and do a little bit of that pumping to save you. Over these manhole covers, if you happen to be driving over one and have to do some emergency braking, the ABS will save you. So I just really would love to have ABS on this bike, but it doesn't have it, so I've had to learn how to combo brake, and that has taken me literally years. And if you don't do it often, practice, you can't get your brain in the mode to do that. Like, it just doesn't do it. Like, I've tried to memorize, like when I'm braking, to make sure that I put do the rear, a little bit of rear, because in urban driving you've got to do front and rear braking to get yourself slowed down quickly, but you don't want to apply You can't drive with just rear. You can't just do rear braking. You'll slam into everything. You'll slide. But if you do the combo braking, you're good. Yeah, the combo braking thing is very hard to get your brain in that mode. And, you know, there are times where if I don't practice it, my brain just doesn't fire that. I'm talking about panic braking. Somebody, cab jumps in front of you, no turn signal, no nothing. The panic braking, you gotta practice it. Otherwise, you'll kick your front wheel. If you grab a handful of brake, for example, in this condition, you hit that white marking in the street, you're going down. If you're gonna panic brake. You gotta do panic braking and avoidance. If you can master those, you can enjoy your riding in New York immensely. I mean, you can enjoy all the benefits of riding a motorcycle in New York City. There's so many benefits I couldn't even tell you. I mean, money-wise, time-wise, parking, everything you can think of. It's all there, you know. There's so many benefits. New York City does not want. They've made it very clear. Like there's going to be a congestion toll coming. Motorcycle is going to be exempt, but the congestion toll is going to charge $25 for every time you go south of 59th Street, no matter how many times you go. So driving a vehicle, you've already paid tolls coming into the city, and then you're going to be paying tolls going south of 59th Street. That's pretty expensive. So you got to figure, being able to go, like in London, motorcycles are exempt on the congestion toll, and they're going to mirror what's happening in London with the congestion toll. They've wanted to do that for years here, but the last time they tried to push it through, it got denied. But now the pandemic